And welcome back, everyone, to Football No Filter. This is episode number 55. And as you can see, I am with Nelson and myself, Brun Krak. Nelson, how are you?
I'm good, man. Good. Feeling
That's
very, very good today.
that's com a barriga cheia.
Not yet.
We are Georgeless for the moment, but we will be having George soon. So we're going to get started right away into the schedule. Past week we saw Oroca 2, Famalicão 1, Moreirense 2, Braga 3 in a thrilling game. Gil Vicente 0, Benfica 2, Sporting 2, Belenenses 0, Tondela 0, Portimonense 3, Marítimo and Porto drew 1-1, Guimarães 4, Vizela 0, Paços Ferreira 1, Estoril 3, and lastly Boa Vista 2, Santa Clara 0. The table reads Sporting and Benfica at 9 points on top, Estoril and Porto at 7, Gil Vicente, Portimonense, Braga and Boa Vista 6, Guimarães and Marítimo 4, Vizela, Tondela, Paços Ferreira and Oroca 3, Moreirense, Santa Clara 1, Famalicão and Belenenses 0 points. Nelson, looking at the table right now, I know it's early, it's only 3 games in, but is there a team that right now, if you were the president, you would be highly upset?
Yes, I mean the bottom three teams. From Licão, 0 points. Bolens, right?
Yeah,
And
right.
who's the other one?
Santa Clara
Santa Clara. You
and
know,
Moreirense, they have 1 point each.
and Moreirense. And remember, and Santa Clara just lost Carlos Jr. Last week I told you I needed a couple more weeks to tell you I was in trouble. Now I'm starting to think that I don't need a couple more weeks. I think these teams are starting to be in trouble
Already week 3,
already.
and you think that this is a sign?
Yeah, it's definitely not a good sign.
Okay. Now you did touch on Carlos Jr. I think he got sold somewhere to Saudi Arabia. I don't remember how much the price was. Do you remember off the top of your head?
I really don't, to be honest with you. I really
Okay.
don't. No.
All right. No big deal. Famalicão was the big surprise, but let's be honest. They played 2 out of the top 3 clubs, or sorry, they played Porto in the beginning. They play Sporting now, so this has been a rough 4 weeks for them. Would you agree?
Yes, and they've had some really bad luck too. I'm not saying the calls are wrong, but they've had pretty, like last 2 weeks, pretty bad, a lot of bad luck. Against Porto, that goal called back, which we all know it's like very close. You know what I mean? And then this week, another goal called back because of a handball. Which, by the way, I wanted to clear up the handball situation, so I went and looked it all up, and it was actually the right call. And then we can get into that and discuss that.
Yeah. Now the Belenenses is the team that is in a lot of trouble. I mean, you played them this week, Nelson, and I think you'll admit that this was probably one of the weakest teams you have ever seen from Belenenses. Is that correct?
Extremely weak. I mean, they have nothing. I mean, they have one or two decent players, but they really have nothing.
Well, they just got Carrasa on loan from Port. We will see what other players. I mean, you've heard in the press conference, Petit has been constantly asking before and after the games that he wants some type of signings of any kind that he can get. And I think they need. I mean, they have Pedro Nuno, they have Carrasa coming in, they have I can't think of his name anymore. Center back. I think it's Tiago. I think his name Tiago Tomás Ribeiro. He's there. But other than that, it's a very weak team. George, welcome back, George.
And I mean, and they're not looking good at all. And when we start discussing the sporting game, we'll get into that more.
George, everything good?
What the deal is?
The deal is estás atrasado, pá.
Dude, man, my flight from Eindhoven got delayed, so sorry about that.
Got it. Okay.
Party
All
hardy.
right.
Eu pensava que era o Marilyn tirar fotos aos pés, o caralho.
Pois. Gostas, não
Well,
gostas?
you just came back in time. I'll just read Gil Vicente 0, Benfica 2. There was Pichuk in goal, Carlos Ferrugem, Fernandes and Talocha, Pedrinho, Carvalho, Fujimoto, Bilal, Lino, and Murilo for Gil Vicente. For Benfica, it was Vlaco Dimos, Verissimo, Otamendi, Morato, Everton, Junior, Meite, Caravat, and Gil Diaz, Ramos, and Yaremchuk up top. George, take us quickly through the game.
I mean, it was you know, it was a good game in a very difficult field. Gil Vicente is a very well coached team. You know, but Benfica, I think Benfica had control of the game almost at all times. It was just like Nelson says, you know, our forwards are having a hard time um, scoring. But at the end, you know, at the end of the second half, with some of the substitutions that Jota made, you know, made the team. You know, also, you know, we had a few starters that you know, because of the Champions League games, you know, we had to rotate some of the players. But you could see that in the middle of the second half when Jorge Jesus made the substitutions that he made. You know, Gil Vicente já não tinha pedalado para, you know, for our team. You know, kind of a lucky goal by Verissimo. But I think the goal had already been well deserved. And then Grimaldo, you know, a few minutes after coming in with a tremendous goal to seal the win at 2-0. But I think it was a deserving win. You know, Benfica, you look at the stats, Benfica pretty much dominated the whole game, you know, on stats as well, you know, 62% versus 38, 28 shots versus 6, shots on net, 7 versus 2. So, you know, we dominated the game like we should have had. But, you know, again, a game in the middle of a Champions League playoff. You know, always a difficult game, and but you know, we got the 3 points, which was what we wanted at the end.
Nelson, anything to add?
No, I mean, easy game by Benfica. Gil Vicente did nothing all game. I mean, when I say easy game, I mean Benfica deserved to win, but they didn't score until the 80th minute. You know what I mean? Which you know, like you start feeling a little pressure at the end of the game. But Gil Vicente did nothing all game. That game was never, in my opinion, was never in question. And just, you know, I wish those teams play against Sporting like that all the time, because I mean that was not even a showing at all. Like I mean,
What do you
at one
mean?
point I thought they
What do
were.
you mean? What do you mean they play like Sporting like that all the time? Remember, Gil Vicente. This is the same Gil Vicente team that beat Benfica at home last year.
I understand, but I'm saying in this game they did nothing. Like I mean, at one point I thought they weren't even going to cross midfield. That's how bad they were. So, you know, good game. Hey, listen, winning on the road is very important. Normally the title gets decided not between the games between the three big ones, but
Well, smaller
whoever
teams.
loses the least amount of points against these teams on the road. So, you know, it's a win is a win on the road. He was never in question though. But once again, I'm glad George finally agrees. Benfica forwards are not scoring right now, and hopefully the midfield starts not scoring too, and then nobody scores, and then they start tying and losing, so that I can be a happier person during the week.
All right. Any particular plays that you guys would like to talk about, or not so much? I mean, in terms of questionable calls. No. All right, we'll move
I mean,
forward.
the only questionable call could have, yeah, the only questionable call could have been on the first goal, but I don't think he's offside, so it doesn't even matter.
No, he's not. Yeah, he's not offside.
He was onside. Was it 20 centimeters?
It was 20, right? I believe it was 20.
So I remember a lot of Benfica fans last week saying that the Famalicão forward was onside although he was offside 21 centimeters. 21 centimeters.
We're not the Benfica fans are not the ones that say that. Some Sporting fans that do podcasts like we do, they're the ones that want a that no, not an offside. They want a what are they saying? They want a if it's like the first 20 or 30 centimeters, if they're offside, it shouldn't be offside. It should continue. There should be
20 to
like
30.
a there should be like I forgot what the exact word is, but it should be it should be only over a certain percentage of yeah.
So maybe 50 or 100. It depends on
Yeah.
the narrative. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Down the shore.
I think every player.
20 to 30. Wow,
I
that's
think
amazing.
every player should
No,
have to wear.
20 to 30 down the shore.
Yeah.
The shore.
20 down the shore. Yeah, I got you. I understand where you were going. Oh, a buffer. A buffer.
A buffer, exactly. That's it.
Thank you, Juicebox. We appreciate you chiming in.
Thank you very much, Juicebox.
I think every player should wear a chip, and no
Well, you
need
need
for
the vaccine,
VAR.
right? Don't you need the vaccine for the chip?
Hey, whatever, but that's how it should go. In the future, it should be like that. Every player's a chip. We just go review it and see if he's offside or not, and then I'll hack that shit. And
You know what?
help my team.
You know what? It's I don't think that's too far out. Yeah.
Far-fetched.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a couple of years ago, there was a company in Guimarães that developed a chip so players can put on their cleats, and they could figure out if you were offside or not. But
Yeah, you got the GPS that they wear. You have the GPS on the ball. That's just well, I think the discussion that they're having is just to eliminate the offside as is. So you're not even going to have that issue anymore.
right, all right, we'll move forward. Sporting 2, Belenenses 0. Adan em gol, Inácio Coates, Neto, Esgaio, Luís, Palhinha, Vinagre, Gonçalves, Paulinho, and Santos. For Belenenses was Felipe, Henriques, Acas, and Ribeiro, Kalila, Souza, Boni, Fet, Teixeira, Nudor, and Nuno. Nelson, I don't think that this was a game in which, even though it was only 2-0, this was over very early.
No.
Yeah. Com a barriga e a boca cheia.
This game
Está
was
sempre com a
never in
boca cheia.
question. I mean, like, isto foi massacre de Alvalade. Like, Belenenses did nothing. The score 2-0, like you say, doesn't indicate what the game was. Se o Paulinho dia conseguir marcar golo, we missed so many goals. If the score was 7-8 nothing, nobody could have questioned it. That's how bad that game was.
Yeah.
It was total domination from beginning to end. And like I said, I keep enjoying watching us play. I just don't like what we're seeing up front, not scoring. And we have nobody. We have Paulinho, Thiago Tomás, and that's it.
A quick question.
And Paulinho opens up a lot of spaces for other people. Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask you, do you think that Paulinho's role on Sporting is more of a goal scorer or more of a guy that he's kind of creating space for then someone else can finish?
But, okay, so here's my take on it. I think we got him to score goals. However, he does open up spaces. He does that very well.
Drags defenders.
But I don't think when we paid the money that we pay for him, he drags defenders. He tires them out. He's a strong guy. He tires them out. He opens up spaces. He opens up chances for other guys. But if you ask me, that's the main reason we got him? Of course not. You know what I mean? We got him to score goals. That would have been a bonus. You know what I mean? Like opening up spaces, that would have been a bonus. Scoring goals would have been the primary thing. But he does an amazing job of that. I think he tires the defenders a lot. I think he puts a lot of pressure on the defense. He creates a lot of spaces for other guys. But man, some of these chances that he misses, especially the one-on-one, he doesn't even try to go around the keeper. He shoots it straight at the keeper. It's like, at least put the ball to the side. If he goes out, he goes out, But I'd like to see him score goals.
I think you would be more upset if he was kicking balls out.
I probably would be more upset. Hit the post.
George, I,
But
I have a question. This one from Juicebox. The comparison is that's like saying we got a goalkeeper that can't save a shot. He needs to start scoring. Would you agree with that assessment by Juicebox?
No, I mean, like Nelson said, you paid, if you
Top
look at the overall pass, you're talking about like 24 million dollars for a 28, 29 year old player, substitute at Braga at the time that he was bought. I think the idea was for him to score goals, not to put him on a team and then need to spend another 24, 25 million euros on another player that he's going to be opening up space for. So I think his job is to score. Um, but I just don't know if this system, really not the system, just the players that he's playing with, if it's the right combination for him to be that goal scorer at Sporting. But it was a total denominate for it was a whooping by Sporting. Just because I know we're going to be talking about the in the next game we're going to be talking about the soccer fields and so on. I just got to make a note because this Sporting soccer field is going in the direction of the Maritim field. This field was actually installed in June or July, right after the season was over, and you could see that it's not in playing condition. It's good for the first 10, 15 minutes, but then you could see the grass. It's all coming out of place as well. So just a little side note. Yeah, you can't compare it to the Maritim one, but it's going towards that. Stadio de Alvalade has always had issues with with the way that the stadium was built and the way the sun catches the grass field, the direction. There was always issues with that field over there. I think they changed the 30,000 or 50,000 cadeiras. Now they need to rotate the stadium so it could catch sun in the right place.
Yeah, I think that was always been an issue, which was how they built the stadium and the positioning of the field. Yes, Nelson, do you have a
got
rebuttal?
nothing to do. Yeah, I do because it's got nothing to do with that. Like the reason the grass ends up like that is because not too far away, na Segunda Circular, tem uma lixeira do caraças, and
Yeah,
all that
funny.
stuff goes in the sewer,
No,
and ends up over there and destroys our grass. That's what it is. É a
no,
lixeira
but
do
not now talking serious. It's because of the way the stadium was built, the direction that the stadium was built.
I always remember hearing that there was a big debate about that they were building it wrong. So
Mhm.
we'll see. There is a fan
Who
asking
cares?
you, George, viraste specialista de relva.
No, no, very specialist the Helba. I mean, I think even Stevie Wonder could see that the Helba is not 100%. Now, to each its own. But if Benfica had times where our field wasn't that great of in that great of condition because of concerts and so on. But this field, you could, you look back the last couple of years, you see grass, different colors. Aquilo, not even todos would have touradas over there. So it's not throwing any jabs at Sporting or at Sporting fans. I'm just saying that field, for a new field, for a field that was only installed like a couple of months ago, it's not in good condition. And Sporting's had this issue with the field since 2004, since the stadium was built. They almost change it almost every year. They change the grass, which is not normal.
All right. Well, we'll move forward.
You see,
Um,
I guess it did become an expert in grass.
I'm an expert in a lot of things.
I can see
Nelson,
that.
are you trying to insinuate that George is a specialist in all kinds of grass?
Yes, that's exactly. I think he needs to move to California or Colorado or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
Well,
I digress.
I heard
And that question came from Nancy. So now I want to see now when we start talking about the next game. What quem é que vai ser o especialista da erva a seguir?
the erva or the relva.
Da erva, da relva, tudo.
Oh, yeah. All right. So it was Estádio do Barreiros. Vitor was in goal. Saenz, Junior Andrade, Vink, Mendes, Chadas, Rossi, Vitor, Alipor, and Vidigal for Marítimo. For Porto was Diogo Costa, João Mário, Bebemba, Pep, and Marcano as the left back. Otávio Costa, Uribe, Diaz, Taremi, and Martinez. So, I mean, once again, George, it's a tale of two halves. Porto came out very strong. They decided to high press. They won a lot of balls in their middle and attacking third. They created some chances. By the end of the first half, this game should have been done and dusted. Martinez missed a sitter of a goal. I think overall the defense played well in the first half. Marcano actually had some decent crosses, which is something that we have not been able to get in probably about a year from our left back. Midfield wise, I was okay up until the halftime. I think Uribe dropped off a lot in the second half. Otávio is now injured. Luis Diaz was by far their best player. Taremi had a good assist. He could have done a little more. Again, I don't really like his new role of being away further from the goal. I think he needs to be closer to the goal, but that's just my opinion. Second half, totally different story. Porto just didn't play well. They had, I think, 42 minutes in the second half without a shot. You can't go that far or that long without a shot on goal. I thought the substitutions were terrible. I don't understand how certain players come on so late in the game. And obviously the grass was definitely something that that weighed heavily on the result. Porto couldn't really move the ball like they typically like. I don't know how the league approves this game. I just don't know. If they know the day before that they're going to ban the field, why in the world are you going to why are you going to have this game being played? Because you're talking about um, a game in which you're putting players at risk. So, George, let's take it away.
No, I agree. I think the field wasn't in playing condition. Was not in playing condition. I think Porto should have put the game away in the first half. Second half, after the Marítimo goal, which was a phenomenal goal, but just totally against it just like you were saying before. I think once Nelson said in regards to the Benfica game, when the games are really tight, the bigger teams usually have an issue, overcoming those those difficult trenches in the game, just because of the anxiety. We're Porto, Sporting, Benfica. We're supposed to win all the games. So when it starts getting into those, the 60th minute, 70th, 80th minute, the anxiety takes over. It's more than you're playing more with your with your heart than when you're with your head. And this week, this year, the diver, the referees didn't give the usual PK to the diver in the 90th plus minute. But again, it's one of those games that it should have been put away. When you don't put the game away against these smaller teams, you run the risk in a counter or in a what the hell is he smacking over there in the other side? What the heck is this guy doing? He's smacking the sausage? Is he smacking somebody? What is this guy doing?
I don't think
Estou a fazer buracos na parede.
Eu estou lixado com este gajo. He's like, all you hear is and then you hear the smacking. What's wrong with this? This is
He's
this is not an X-rated show.
he's making sandwiches.
I'm almost done. I'll turn on the camera soon. Almost done.
Holy shit!
Give me 60 seconds.
Um, no, but yeah. I mean, I think it was it was all Porto. You know, Porto, Porto pushing position to get smacked like Nelson likes to do.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this much. Going back to your thing, Tony Martinez was, he was one of those guys that last week he was the star, and this week he was the villain, right? Hero one week, villain the other. In terms of the villain, I mean, you cannot miss that goal 2-3 yards off the goal line. Cannot miss. And he did. Another thing that I gotta say is the run of play. I mean, he had the ball under control. There's a lot of people that blame João Mario on that. I don't blame João Mario so much because he's caught in transition going forward. They played a quick counterattack, 3 touches, and the ball is in the back of the net. And it's a splendid goal by Chadas, which is a quality player that a lot of people don't really know about him much. He's a reject from Sporting Braga. I think he was developed at Porto at one point or another. But at the end of the day, just not
You know,
enough.
and let me just say, I mean, look, I think I don't think Corona needs to be playing these games.
Nope.
I think you're, I get it that Conceição. Look, I don't get it. You know, right? If you don't start Corona, then you shouldn't be playing him halfway through the game. My opinion, because Corona is a starter, I think, right? So if you're not starting him, it means that something is going on. So if something is going on, number one, why do you have him on the bench? And number two, why do you put him in the second half? When you didn't start him in the first place. That's my first thing. Number two is I think Conceição, the kid. I think the kid needs to start, in my opinion. He's got that garra. He's the only one that really changed the game when he went in. Number two, I don't understand why Pepe is not. It's not a starter. I mean, if
Pepe
I just Pepe. I'm sorry, Pepe. I just don't get why he doesn't why he's not starting. I get it. You gotta work your way. You gotta work your way. You have to earn your spot. But
did he really bring anything to the game though?
But my thing is like this, Bruno. I hate it. I hate to analyze a player by when they play 15, 20, 25 minutes.
Okay, that's fair.
I just don't think it's you can analyze. Number one, the opposition is tired. You're coming in with fresh legs when the rest of the other team is done already.
Worn down.
Number two is how do you get in the flow of a game, when you only have 15, 20 minutes to play
or less. Because I'm looking at the subs. I mean, there's guys that were brought in like the 81st minute, which that just
to me I don't understand that.
Pepe came in the 71st minute with Jesus Corona. Jesus Corona brought absolutely nothing to the team, and just by his body language alone, you can tell that he didn't even want to be on the field. Pepe was trying, but I just don't think that this was the game for him. And then do I agree with you about Chico Conceição? Yeah, I agree that he should have came in a lot earlier. Fabio Vieira should have came in a lot earlier. Even Nielsen, without question, should have came in a lot earlier. Again, I keep on saying he's their best finisher. So I don't understand some of these moves. I don't understand how Vitinha doesn't play. I don't understand how Sergio Oliveira doesn't play. Uribe had one of the worst second halves I have seen in a long time from him.
I don't get that. That Sergio Oliveira thing is that's another one. They're waiting to sell him,
Okay.
and they're gonna wait until September to play him. I don't get that.
There? Can I stop you right there? So if their intention, or if the player's intention, is to be sold, or they want to sell him, and you don't want to injure him, then do the team a favor. Don't even put him on the bench.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
And figure out what his future is going to be. And when you figure that out, and if he's going to stay, then you bring him back. If you don't, then you don't. But you got to have guys coming off the bench that are ready to go. I mean, Coronas clearly doesn't want to be there, so just let him go. Sergio Oliveira might be one of those guys that might want to leave. Like, hey, look, if you could get me a nice deal where I'm making a couple of million more than where I'm making now, then don't play him. I don't understand how Vitinha, which was the best player or for the national team in the U21 Euro, how he does not play. And he brings balance. He brings attack. He can defend. He can do a lot of different things. He can transport the ball. He's a creative player. He can shoot from distance. I mean, he can do a lot of different things. Yeah, he's not the biggest guy, but he's a guy that can do a lot of things on the ball. Nelson, we didn't get your opinion on this game because then I also do want to talk about the penalty at the end of the game. So go ahead, Nelson. Nelson, please.
Once again, a tale of two halves. Porto very strong in the first half. Could have put that game away. Marítimo, another game that I thought Marítimo wasn't even going to cross midfield because for the first 42 minutes, 43 minutes, Marítimo had 0 shots. They did nothing. And then Marítimo scores a really nice goal. It's a very nice goal. And then Porto went 42 minutes without a shot on goal. I mean, completely disappeared in the second half. I agree. Same thing. I agree with Sergio Oliveira. They must be trying to sell him. I mean, come on. The guy was on the national team. The guy was one of the better Porto players last year. And now the guy doesn't even play. So they definitely tried to sell him. And then the other guy shouldn't be playing either. I mean, the guy that has 2 names that a lot of people love, Jesus e Corona. Muitas pessoas gostam dos dois. I don't know if same thing. They're trying to sell him, but then he shouldn't be playing at all. And they should get the other guy, Deus Heineken, and put him in place of this guy. But I think that's what it is. But same thing with the subs. Like, I hate all these late subs. When I like when my team makes subs when we're winning, and it's the 85th minute, and then you take a guy out, put a fresh guy in there. But when you're losing and you're waiting to the 87th minute, 88th minute to put a guy in, to me, all you're doing is helping the other team by wasting time. That's all you're doing. The guy cannot even get in the flow of the game. It's very hard. We all played soccer. You guys know this. It's very hard to come in the game that late in the game and even get to the flow of it.
Yes, I heard that. I heard that. I heard the same thing from a smart person like 5 minutes ago.
Who was it?
He was talking.
Rei das Galinhas. No, I said the same thing. I said the same thing, Nelson. No, it's hard. It's almost impossible to get into the flow of the game.
Well, let's look at averages. Let's look at averages. On average, a player takes about 10 minutes to get into a complete full flow of the game, on average. So you look at 10 minutes. This guy, he's not even going to have 10 minutes on the field if you're coming in the 81st minute. Some games the whistle will blow shortly after. So I don't understand this move. But this is something that I have said in the past, that Sergio Conceição is notorious for 65th minute. He's going to 60 to 65th minute. He's going to make 2 subs. He's going to bring in a winger or a striker, and he'll bring a midfielder. And then around the 80th minute, he'll bring in 2 or 3 midfielders or / a striker or a winger. That's what he typically does.
A diver.
Well,
sempre. O mergulhador sempre entra.
But hold on a second. O Nuno Santos não está no Porto.
Stop. Right now, after Jonas, primeiro era o Jonas, mas este acho que ainda é um bocadinho pior que o Jonas. O Jonas era ruim pra caraças. Foda-se.
I will give you my opinion on the play. The one question that I have is, did the defender ever touch the ball? The answer is no. Was there contact on the
He
player?
didn't touch the player either.
No, he touched
No.
the player. Now the question is, was it enough to knock him down? Well,
And
it was enough to knock
we-
him down, but was it a foul? Was it intentional to take him out? I would say no. So I'm okay with the
No.
call, but you cannot say that he touched the ball because he never touched the ball.
Yeah.
He didn't touch the ball, and he left. Chico Conceição left the leg behind to try to get some contact. And if they
As
call
he
that a
always
penalty,
does.
then you know what? Then we better have like 20 penalties a game. I mean, I would have been extremely upset if that was a penalty. I've seen
Nelson,
a lot worse than that.
I'll ask you this question: if
Go
this
ahead.
foul or if this play was outside the box, would they call the foul?
Bruno, yes, and I'll tell you this. Let me elaborate on that though. They call everything outside the box.
Foul. Yeah.
A foul. The guy blows wind at the other guy and they call a foul. We have so many fouls in our Portuguese league that they should never be fouls. Any little touch is a foul. You bump into the guy, it's a foul. You shoulder the guy, it's a foul. Everything's a foul. And that's the thing I don't agree with, Bruno, because to me, a foul is a foul no matter the location of the field. So if it's a foul midfield, that same foul midfield should also be a foul dentro da área. And you know when the goalie kicks the ball forward and the defender and the forward are fighting for the ball, there's always one that pushes the other one in the back. And a lot of times they call those fouls. But in the area, on a corner, everybody's pushing each other in the back. And that's not a foul. So you know what? We just got to stop calling all these little fouls and let the game flow. Let the ball run. We call too many little fouls, too many shits that are not fouls in my opinion. And that's a problem. And you know, if it's a foul, it should be a foul anywhere. You cannot pick and choose the location of a field where it's a foul and where it's not, you know?
Fair enough.
Yep.
George, any other closing remarks about this?
No, not on the Porto game. I just have something on this on the Sporting game that I need to just address whenever we're done.
Okay. Nelson, anything on the field that you wanted to talk about? Because you didn't get your opinion on that.
Oh no! Well, I left that to the master of Relvado, Jorge que entende relva. It was it was shameful. That field was not playable at all. Definitely not playable. My question now is
where are they going to play the next game? Because Nacional ain't going to let them use their field.
Well, they have options. So let's start with that. Nacional, Estádio do Nacional is one. Do Nacional. Estádio do Nacional is one. They have Camacha. I think Camacha is a field that they could use. They have União da Madeira that they could use.
Yeah, that's true.
Then they have somewhere on the continent where they can use
Estádio da Luz.
Maybe Santa Clara.
They got good relationship over there. That could be a possibility. Another possibility is Cidade do Futebol. The one again, the only thing I question about this is if you know that the field is going to be banned the next day, how do you accept playing this game because you're going to get players injured? And that's exactly what happened. Otavio was injured due to the field. And no one seems to care because, you know, Porto lost points, so it doesn't really matter. And then, you know, that's pretty much that happened last year at Belenenses. Porto played there. They lost points the next day. The field was no longer playable. All right, we're going to move forward to next. Actually, we'll not look forward to next week. We're actually going to talk about PSV Benfica 0-0.
So, hold on, before we get there, let me just. I just want to address something with Juicebox. He's got a comment here when I said that Paulinho was sold for like 24 million. You know, he's saying that it wasn't 24 million, that was 13 million. So I just want to read, you know, the transfer numbers. So Sporting paid 16 million euros for 16 million euros plus IVA for 70% of the pass for Paulinho. So 70% is 16 million, which means that the whole pass would be for about 21 million. On top of that, they gave Braga, so Sporar was on loan for a year with Braga paying full wages on Sporar,
6 months.
and with an option for an option for 7.5 million euros buyout. Since Braga didn't take the buyout, they automatically get 15% of any future transfer of Sporar. So I guess he wasn't transferred yet, but whatever transfer money Sporting makes from him, Braga gets 15%. And then the third player, Borja went to Braga on a full transfer for 3 million. So when you add everything, 16 million plus 5 million for the other 30%. Also, if there's an offer for Paulinho for 25 million or above, and Sporting doesn't accept it, then Sporting automatically has to pay Braga 7.5 million for the remaining 30%. But take that out of the
That offer is not coming.
Yeah, exactly. take that out of the way. So it's 16 million for 70%. If you calculate the full pass, it would be 21 million. You got 3 million for Borja because you gave Borja in the deal, so that brings it to 24 million. Then you paid Sporar's full salary for 6 months, plus you're giving 15% to Braga of any future transfer. Plus you paid all the IVAs. So technically, Juice Box is correct. I was wrong. It's not 24 million. It's a little bit over 24 million.
It's a lot of millions for.
Bruno, este gajo é bancário. Então, se o Braga paga 3 milhões por Borja, o valor aumenta ou desce? O valor deve descer, não é aumentar, caraças.
What are you talking about?
You said Braga paid 3 million for right?
No, they didn't pay 3 million. It was part of the deal. They gave it to them for
okay.
It's part of the
gave
deal.
it for free. All right, so you saying his value was 3 million? Okay, I get it.
His value was 3 million.
Fair enough. No, it's a lot of money for a guy to open up spaces. I completely agree. Bruno, before you move on to PSV, I just want to touch on the Famalicão game and the goal at the end of the game.
Oh yes, please.
Okay, so I went back because we kind of had this discussion last week about what's a handball, what's not a handball, and I even told you guys I don't even know what a handball is anymore. So apparently, if a ball bounces off a player and hits the arm, and then bounces off another player and hits the other arm, as long as no goal happens from that player, it's not a foul. You can keep going. The ball can keep bouncing from these two hands all game long. It's never a handball. The reason the first handball was not called was because the defender, he bounced off of him, hit the arm, which is perfectly legal now. And then when he went to Famalicão, he did the same thing. However, that player scored the goal, which automatically then makes it a foul. Had that player passed the ball to another guy and another guy scored, or had another Famalicão player been next to that guy, and the other guy took the shot and scored, that would have been a clean goal. So the rule is the ball can bounce as much as they want between knees and shoulders and hand, and it's not a foul, as long as the last player, the attacking player, does not score coming off his arm. And that's what happened. So it's a shitty call. I agree. Famalicão, I feel horrible for them, but it's the correct call. The referee had the correct call.
All right. Now we move on to
exporting handballs. Handballs. And then handballs.
I don't know what he was doing. He was smacking some type of salami. Real quick, George, PSV Benfica, you guys advanced to Champions League. You qualify. Anything that you want to say about this game?
I'm just very proud of the Benfica team. I think Nelson's best friend Grimaldo. I guess he heard Nelson badmouth him so much in the first game that he just decided to have one of the best games for that he ever played at Benfica. This Tuesday, last Tuesday. So no, look, Benfica missed the first opportunity of the game by half a little short while later. Verissimo got his red card, and then listen, we suffered a lot. There was that Xavi was whatever his name is, Xavi I think is his name. The
Ziha.
that Zihavi that ball in the that ball bateu no ferro like in the middle of I thought it was offside.
I thought it was offside.
I thought it was offside. I think if
It's
it would have gone in, I think it would have been
Pulled back.
it would have been pulled back. But look, it's great, just a great team game. Otamendi, thank you very much to Porto for bringing him over to Europe and now to Benfica. The kid Murato again, just did had that mistake that almost caused the goal, but had a good game also. Grimaldo, just an awesome game, just tremendous game. And PSV, all praises to them as well because they got a young, very talented team as well. But we needed to get into the Champions League. We needed the money. And yeah, Juspax, Adi, Odysseus, the men of the match, not only the match, contrary to what Jorge Jesus says, I think the men of the whole eliminatoria. Just tremendous skills. Getting much better outside of the post. I remember in the first half, towards the end of the first half, where he stopped that kid on the right hand side that came in through the right hand side and was 1-on-1 against him, and he stopped it with his leg. Probably a couple of years ago, that ball would have gone in. Because we know he's a tremendous goalie inside the post. His problem is outside the posts. But yeah, I mean, very very happy with the result.
Nelson, I know that you says SLB Heroes on your
Yeah.
go ahead, elaborate, because I know you were ecstatic.
Eu nem falar sério com vocês, eu nem quero falar muito que eu vou me emocionar. Os heróis já chegaram a Portugal. Estou tão feliz, man. My heroes, like, I mean, oh man, that team played 60 minutes with 10 guys. Like, I take my head, just as I predicted. I predicted they were going to advance. I was right. I mean, that team played amazing. I mean, not attacking, but defending. They played as a team. I'm so proud of them. So proud of them. Os holandeses viram-se gregos para marcar e não conseguiram marcar. But I'll be honest with you guys. O maior erro do PSV foi contratar o Brian Ruiz. Nunca deviam ter contratado o Brian Ruiz. E já eram duas equipas que ele fode. Fodeu o Sport, agora fodeu o PSV. Foi um grande erro contratar o Brian Ruiz. E eu digo, o PSV jogou muito melhor no primeiro jogo do que jogou neste. O PSV tinha um monte, chegava ali na frente, but they had players on top of each other, all bunched up, and they would get confused and they didn't know where to pass. And I saw a lot of that. I saw a lot of bad passing, a lot of indecision. And as the minutes went by, you could see they were getting more and more nervous. And then the coach, I don't know what school you went to. Olha, se calhar foi na mesma do Conceição. This guy is making 2 subs in the 90th minute. Are you kidding me? Like, you need a goal. There's 5 minutes to go, and now you're making subs in the 90th minute and taking out. Once again, he did it 2 weeks in a row. He took out that guy. What's that player? The one that had the, that guy is good. The British guy. He took him out again. And he put Bruma again. 2 straight games, Bruma brought nothing into the game. But I just saw a very confused PSG in the final third. They were not sure.
PSG?
PSV. They were not sure what pass to make. They were not sure when to shoot or when to pass. very inconsistent. I mean, I think they had like 12 total shots, something like that, not on goal, 12 total, and they had more than that in the game in Lisbon. They played a lot better in Lisbon than they did at home. And congrats to Benfica. Benfica needed that. Was I rooting for them? Of course not. I was kidding before, in case people didn't know. But listen, it's a good result for Benfica. It's 37 million, I think it is, and he helps Portugal in the rankings. We're in front of France right now. I don't know what happened after the games today. If we're still in front of France, if we are, then we
We
definitely
Yeah,
guarantee pretty much like
we're
teams in 20.
we're in
Yeah,
front of France.
So
We're in front of
24,
France.
25.
Benfica. Bad
just
enough.
just
Yeah.
for
So that means
just for
that,
Nelson, just for your information and for our listeners, Messi now does not play in one of the top 5 leagues in the world.
Yep.
Just so you know.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, being
And Juice
Portugal.
Box just mentioned the guy's name, Maduki.
Yeah, that's a good player though.
He's a good player, but he's very
He's a good
greedy,
player.
and he
Yeah.
caught
Very good.
a lot of opportunities for PSV. PSV had players in better position. He would not pass the ball, and he messed up a lot of plays, and he made Benfica defenders look better because he lost a lot of those balls. So
I think it's one of those games. I think we discussed the last week when Benfica played against 10 and really didn't do that well against I guess who was it, Aroca, right?
yeah, it was a
First
yeah.
Aroca, right? I think PSV would have more chances if it was 11-on-11 versus 11v10. I think when you're playing against 10, whatever the teams are, it doesn't matter if it's Benfica or any other team. You close in your lines, and it just makes it really difficult for the especially in an attacking team to create chances. So I think it was like probably, I'm going to say it, and people are going to get pissed off at me like they always do, even though I like the guy. It's like I always say, if Ronaldo hadn't gotten hurt against France, I almost guarantee that Portugal wouldn't have won the Euro Cup. Just because we had to make adjustments, and that actually worked in our favor. And I think in this game it was the same thing. I think the worst thing that could have happened for PSV is what happened to Benfica. Getting someone red carded and playing against that.
Nelson,
I
anything you want to
think
add?
we still don't know how we. Yeah, I still don't know how we won the Euro. Neither does Fernando Santos. So, but that's besides the point. We got completely outplayed by France that game. But no, listen. Like I say, it's a good thing for Portugal having these 3 teams in the group stage. The only thing that sucks is like I just saw o sorteio e o Benfica calhou o Bayern Munich, o PSG,
Yeah, right.
e o AC Milan. That's a tough group for Benfica. I think they're done. I think they might beat their record and get -2 points this time.
Yeah. I just can't wait for your games, bro. You're gonna have some tough weeks over here.
We shall see. I mean, if you guys
I
had a
hope so.
chance to do the
Listen,
simulator,
all I know is like you guys probably regret inviting me on the show because ever since you invited me, Sporting's been doing very, very good. That's all I gotta say.
That's all good. We need no, but listen, I think it's good for Portugal. We have three teams. I think the first time since 17-18 that we have 3 teams in the
I think so.
in the Champions League. It gives us more opportunity to get rack up more points for the for the rankings. Hopefully tomorrow, Passos Ferreira does a little faz milagrezinho lá em Londres, and Santa Clara does their part as well, and we'll be good to go.
I would not bank on that, to be honest.
Oh, and I wouldn't bank on it either, but yeah.
They had
They
a
actually,
horrible.
I mean,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say they actually both big underdogs tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Santa Clara
Big
is less of
underdog?
an underdog, but Tottenham is like -560, and the other team is like -200. So like, I mean, Tottenham is a big favorite, of course. I mean, as they should be, even though we don't know the lineup yet. But it's going to be tough for both of them. I think it's going to be very tough for both of them.
I think Santa Clara passes.
I
You
hope so.
think
I hope they
Santa
do.
Clara passes against
And then
Partizan? Their best goal scorer was sold.
I think Santa Clara passes.
they'll
I'm
lose on the weekend.
I'm actually doing the simulator right now as we speak for Champions League. I'll tell you guys my
Yeah, Benfica got some crazy, in the simulator. I was like, what the hell is this? Hey, the good thing is I'll get to go watch
That
one
was
one
easy.
good game. I'm watching a game this year.
tu não pode ir para lado nenhum. Não há
When
Oh,
does
I'm
férias.
the
watching
champ?
it. September 15th, first game,
Não
I
há
think.
férias, foda-se.
When does No, September 15th is. Oh my God, I'm gonna be in Portugal. I might go to Estádio da Luz and watch that with all the team's jersey.
The hell out of here. Stadio
Well,
da Luz.
I will say this. I've been doing the simulator for a couple of times throughout the day. There's at least two groups of death. No matter how you do it, there's always two groups of death. So I just did another one. Group A would be Bayern, Liverpool, Ajax, and AC Milan in Group A.
Damn.
Group B, Atletico, Juventus, Zenit, and Wolfsburg. Group C, Man City, Sevilla, Salzburg, and Malmo. Group D would be Lille, Barcelona, Porto, and Dinamo Kiev. I would take that right now if I was Porto. Villarreal, Manchester United, Benfica, and Sheriff. That is.
I'll take that. Oh, where do I sign? Where do I sign?
By the way, Sheriff is I think it's the first team from Malta to make it into Champions League, if I'm correct.
I'd go watch the Benfica Sheriff game in Malta. Yeah.
Your strikers wouldn't score.
Oh no, I would score.
Oh yeah. Chelsea, Dortmund, Atalanta, Club Brugge, which would be an interesting group. Sporting, Real Madrid, Red Bull Leipzig, and Young Boys. Nelson, if you get this group, that's not a good group.
Where can I sign up? I'll sign up right now. Like, listen. First
You
of
would
all, I
want
want
it?
Sporting. No, I don't. I'll tell you what I want. From pot 2, I want PSG. From pot 4, I want AC Milan. Who's in pot 3 again?
We are, but you can't play us.
You have a lot of teams: Ajax, Shakhtar, Leipzig, Red Bull Salzburg, Atalanta, and Zenit.
Leipzig. I want Leipzig or Atlanta.
You
Listen,
do
I
not
want
crazy.
want
those
Leipzig,
teams.
dude.
We can beat
You
anybody.
do not want Leipzig.
You're crazy.
We can
Andres
beat-
Silva will kick your
We can beat
butt.
anybody right now, dude.
Hey,
We can lose.
nunca.
We
Estás
are
maluco?
unbeatable at this moment.
And then the last group was Inter.
These guys have nothing on us. You gotta.
I got Inter, PSG, Shakhtar, and Besiktas as my last simulator. It's interesting. All day long that I did it.
By the way, guys.
Go ahead. All day
No, I was
long.
gonna say the draw is tomorrow at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, no, all day throughout.
12
the day.
o'clock our time, Nelson?
Yeah.
12 o'clock our time. Yes.
Throughout the day, I've done the simulator several times. Sporting always got Barcelona for some reason. And Porto was always in a group with Milan, which
Yeah.
if we can catch
It's-
Milan, I would take it. I would take it.
You you're probably right though, because I've simulated my divorce like 10 times and I got fucked all the time. So like, there's very good chance like that's happening.
I simulated every day 3 or 4 times, and yeah,
So I definitely agree that's a possibility.
All right, we're going to move forward to next week's games. It starts off Friday, Belenenses Moreirense, Estoril and Marítimo, Vizela, Boa Vista, Porto, Naroca. Porto has to bounce back. I'm going to say Porto wins 4-0. Nelson.
I say Porto wins 2-0 in the first half and 1-1 in the second half.
My friend Jorge.
Since it's been working really well, Porto 2-0.
All right, now this is an interesting one, George. Famalicão Sporting. The one thing that the one oddity about this is that Ruben Amorim never beat Famalicão as a coach. Nelson, what you at?
Listen, I think it's a very important game for Famalicão. You know what I mean? I mean, they got 3 games, 0 points. I think it's a key game for them. With all that said, I think Sporting wins 2-0.
How much?
2-0.
Up 2-0? George,
Yes.
2-2.
I'm going 1-1 myself. I think this is a very important game for Sporting as well because the next week is a Sporting Porto.
Yep, that's right.
That's a big one. All right. Benfica Tondela. That's on
Oh, yeah.
Sunday, George, at 1 o'clock. George, what do you have?
Benfica Tondela at home. I think 4-1 Benfica.
Okay. Nelson?
I think Benfica wins. I think this is the week, believe it or not, I think this is the week that one of their forwards will score a couple goals. I don't know if it's Iramashuka or Gonçalo Ramos, but I think Benfica wins 3-0.
3-0. I think Benfica is still going to struggle somewhat with scoring goals by their strikers, but I think this is going to be a Tondela. I just don't believe in. I watched them; they don't look very good. I'm going to say Benfica wins 4-0. Big one, Derby Domingo, Braga, Vitória Guimarães. George, I'll start with you because since that's your B team.
Yeah. Well, Guimarães this week, they came through with 4 goals.
4 goals,
Right,
but
they
2 of
won.
them were on penalties.
Yeah. I think it's I think it'll be a 1-1 tie.
Nelson, what do you have?
Same thing, actually. I was going to say 1-1, but George says 1-1. I don't like copying shitty results, so I'll say 2-2.
Okay. In recent past, Braga has owned Vitória Guimarães, which is their biggest rival. I don't think things change. I think Braga beats them 3-1. Santa Clara, Gil Vicente, Portimonense, and Paço Ferreira will end the week. And then after that, they go on to international break. Just real quick here, Brian Neto has said, can we talk about how there are 6 teams from Minho this year? So I'll start with you, Nelson, since you are half Minho. Any comment
Okay.
on that?
All right, so first of all, tell me the 6 teams. Braga, Guimarães, who else?
Gil
Moreirense,
Vicente,
Vizela.
Famalicão, Moreirense e Vizela.
Oh, okay, that's cool. That's
And
fine.
that's it.
I mean,
No.
what do you want me to say? Like, the only difference there is Vizela, because the other ones were already there, right?
Yeah, they have been there.
So the difference is between 5 and 6. I mean, it's good for Minho. Where's Minho again? In Spain, right?
This guy's crazy.
I don't even know where. I know it's up north. I know they speak Spanish, but I don't even know like exactly where it is. You know what I mean? It's like is that where they have the?
Mesmo ao lado do Santiago Compostela.
Is that where they have like the big walls like from the French?
That's the igreja you have to go to Sport to get a point in the Champions League.
De pé.
I'm just messing around.
Yeah.
I think Minho is very beautiful. I'm just messing around, but I mean, but at the same time, look how many teams right now we have 2 teams from Madeira, right? 2, right? But we had 3 before.
One.
I'm sorry.
One from Madeira.
No.
Marítimo.
Marítimo Nacional, graças. Oh yeah, Nacional is
Not
not.
Nacional. Nacional is the second division.
At one point, we had 3 from Madeira.
Yeah.
You're
União da
thinking of
Madeira,
Portugal.
Nacional e Marítimo.
I mean,
No, we had 3
listen,
before, Bruno.
Portugal is pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nacional da Madeira, Marítimo.
União da Madeira.
But I was going to say, Portugal is pretty much divided by 3, like, north, central, and sul, right? So it's nice to have the 16 from you. Like you probably I'm not counting right now. I can even think top of my head. Neste momento o Sul é capaz de ser o que tem menos. For sure, it should be by far.
Well,
Já Portimonense,
you have Portimonense, you have Bolonense, you have Estoril.
Bolonense from the
I mean,
south. What are you talking about? Bolonense is from Lisbon.
That's central, dude. That's central. I think o Salva is just one Portimonense.
O Sul começa. Listen, you guys think the same way as me, but I said that thinking how someone from Portugal talks. So the someone from Portugal, centro to them is not really Lisbon. It's Coimbra.
So what? What are you talking about, Willis?
A lot of people think.
No.
They say.
I think that's the center. For me, it's Coimbra is the center.
All right. So to me, right south of Lisbon, that's when south. To me, that's where the south starts.
Right. Yes.
Where the
I
south
would
begins,
agree with you. I would agree with you. That's how I look
So-
at Portugal. Is from Lisbon down as under
So
Lisbon is south.
So if you think about it, it's up north and the center of Portugal that's got all the teams. Like pretty much south has like nobody. It's either Portimonense and Farense, or that's it. I mean, Évora, Juventude Évora. I don't even remember the last time they were in the first division.
The north has most of the teams always.
Well, there's more people.
Yeah.
I'll just give you an example. Since I've been, you guys know that I work as an agent and stuff. 2 weeks ago, I got an offer, or not an offer. I got a request. There are clubs in Portugal right now. They requested 50 players by the end of August. 50. So if anyone is listening that knows someone that wants to try to go professional, they're looking for players. Have them contact me because we will send them tomorrow to get a tryout. I have 3 of my players that just got signed.
3
From
players? Three from
three
your
of my
team?
players, yeah, 3 of my players from my college team just got signed this week.
Oh wow. Well, that's
So,
crazy.
That's 4 guys that
To play
went
where?
pro in 2 years. In Portugal. They got signed. 3 in Portugal, and one of them is in first division in Montenegro.
Oh,
Which, for a 19-year-old kid, that's a very big deal.
wow, that's
Do
crazy.
they are they looking for over the hill, overweight?
Spanking machine.
Listen, all I'm saying is like you can compare me to Paulinho. I won't score goals either. You know what I mean? So it's like, but I'll occupy space. You know what I mean? So it's like we can like trust me.
Vaja Beliza.
I should put my videos together. And
Vaja
send-
Beliza, no. Vaja
No,
Beliza.
Belize, no. I'm a forward, dude. I'm a striker. That's what I do. That's what I score. I score too much, and then I get in trouble.
On
I
that
think
note,
it's short.
and guys, if you're paying attention close to the show, you heard him scoring right on the air.
Oh my god.
You haven't learned from the other guy. You got to hit the mute button, bro.
Hey,
I turned
don't
off
say
the
that.
camera.
Tim.
I forgot the mute.
Don't say that, Tim, because he's gonna make us
I didn't
take
say
down
who.
the show.
We had plenty
No.
of guests over the
No. I'm saying Nelson. You didn't give him the release form. He's gonna make us take the show out.
Oh,
take it down.
And we're gonna have to take it down.
Yeah.
People are gonna think
I'm waiting for the episodes to.
we asked Nelson to spice it up, but I think he took it the wrong way.
Oh my god!
All right, guys.
a
Follow these.
little spanking mid show is good for the show, man.
There you go.
You know.
Oh my
Very
god!
good.
All right, guys.
All right,
Have a
guys.
good night.
You guys are gonna enjoy
All
the
right.
week. Until then, for George and Spank Nation, Nelson,
Spankmeister. Ciao. Later. Bye.
bye.